Good morning and welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1000. I tried to work on balloons this morning, but gosh darn, if it wasn't too difficult to do. I mean, it's not super surprising to me because so many things are way more difficult than they appear on camera. And let me tell you, this was a fiasco, but now, for the photo, they had to go in this direction. Are they backwards for you? As if they're backwards for you, I'll try to move them again. I've moved my position 4 times because of the wind. I'm sweating. Anyway, if you're joining me live, please say hello. Welcome to the 1000th episode of the Kristin Omdahl Show. I can't believe we're here. Are they in the right order? Yeah, Judy, it's in the right order? Okay, wonderful. So when I set them up closer to the beach, they were over this way. It was horrible. And then I moved a little closer and a little closer. And you know what? We're not that close to the beach right now. But gosh darn it, I needed my balloons. I've been planning these balloons for months. And congratulations to all of you. We made it. We made it. Not just me, we all made it. So congratulations to all of us. What a milestone. Yes, I have lots of things to show you today, including I finished my dress in time. Do not have a name for it yet, but I'll tell you what I do have for it. Oh, I forgot to bring the Sun, Moon, and Shawl Star. The Sun, Moon, and Shawl Star is available. It was released this morning, and I released a blog post this morning about the 1000th episode, including some details for how to enter to win the prizes that I'm going to be giving away. Lots of prizes being given away today because I want to thank all of you for being here. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it more than you will ever know. Yes, there will be video tutorials for the shawl eventually too, and I'm so sorry I forgot to bring it. There were so many things I had to remember this morning. And the shawl, I do not think it made it into my bag. I do not. No, it didn't. But a lot of other exciting things made it. Yes, there are going to be lots of prizes today. I will be explaining it as we go, but thank you all so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up every day. I appreciate it so much. We did it. We made it. And honestly, here's to the next 1,000. Here's to the 10,000. I don't plan on ending anytime soon, and as long as you're willing to join me, we're going to keep going. This was a milestone that I had for a goal, but it does not mean that it was the end goal. It was just a goal. Kind of like when I ran a full marathon, because I ran a half and went, gee, I wish they'd have named it anything other than a half. So there's just something about having goals and setting goals and reaching goals. But for me, all they do is fuel me to come up with bigger and better goals. So we'll figure out another goal after this. But for here, we made it. We made it. Congratulations to all of us. Well, the 1000th episode, like wow. And I did write a blog post about it. Judy and I put together some highlight episodes over the 1000 episodes that we thought were good walks down memory lane. I shared the first episode, some of the dolphin things that happened over the years, and some of the other unusual things that happened over the years. So we shared some of those there, and I also shared all of the viewer stories about what the show has meant to everyone. I shared all of those there, and I shared some details on the prizes that I'll be giving away today. First and foremost, I want to make sure that everybody is a winner, so there is a coupon code for everybody in that blog post. The coupon code is there, and you can use it to get a free pattern of your choice on my website, knit or crochet. The coupon code is in the blog post, and in order to be entered to win any of the other prizes that I'll be giving away today, and I'll talk about those in a few minutes, though you'll have to leave a comment on that blog post. So different than we've done in the past, we've done it where you left a comment here on YouTube, but this time I want the comments to be on the blog post. I think you will really enjoy reading everyone's comments on there and what the show has meant to so many people. I'm going to read them all out loud today, so who knows how long the show is going to last, because in order to print out everybody's comments, It's 25 typed pages of 12-point font in Times New Roman. Like, could it be more condensed than that? Definitely going to need my glasses. And in order to keep things safe for everybody, I know that I did say that you had the choice of being anonymous or not. And so how I ended up doing it, because some people wrote their first name, some people wrote their last name, some people wrote their initials, some people said they wanted to be anonymous, some people said they didn't. So here's where I organized it. Anybody who was not, who did not need to be anonymous, I shared initials only to keep things unified. And anybody that wanted to be anonymous, the initials are AN for those ones. And then the only people that I shared their full names are our moderators. So Joe Atwood, Lisa Gaddis, Grace Seepley, and Judy Weingarten. I think that's everybody. If I missed one, I'm sorry. We'll see where we, let's see. I think that's everybody that I'll be sharing the full names of. I could be wrong. Let me see. Maybe. Anyway, so as I'm reading them, you will hear me say initials, the initials to start with, and or a couple of names, but I'm only sharing the names of the people that you know because they are show moderators. But before we get started on that, who wants to see my dress? So I finished my dress, and what's really exciting about this dress is that I released 2 commemorative colors in Be So Luxe yarn for the 1000th episode, and I made my dress in one of the commemorative colors, and that is Sage of Enlightenment in Be So Luxe yarn. And then the second color that I released for a commemorative color for the 1000th episode is Rise with the Sun. So we've got a beautiful light sage and a beautiful bright yellow. Sage of Enlightenment and Rise with the Sun. Very timely color names. They feel so inspirational to me, especially with all the changes going on in my life right now. But they are commemorative colors that I was planning on releasing today for the 1000th episode, but along with all my other yarns and products, they will not be restocked. This is the end of the KO yarn at the moment. So yes, so you can get both of those colors. This dress I made in the size that it's shown, with the length that it's shown, and without sleeves. This is 8 balls of Be So Luxe, and I used color Sage of Enlightenment. As you can see, it's mostly straight, but it's a little flared at the bottom, and it's a little flared at the bottom because I added shaping from the waist through the hips. Can you see these beautiful lines that I created through here? Can you see that? And there's a low V on the back. So let's see, can I show all of that if I sit? Hopefully you can see all of that. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love, love, love it. If I had a little more time, I might have made it a little bit longer, but it's beautiful the way it is, and I will wear it this way with lots of joy forever, and I'll always remember that I made it for the 1000th episode. I'm very, very proud of it. I love it, and it's surprisingly very easy to make. I think you're going to love the pattern. The pattern is not ready yet. I literally wove in the ends and blocked it last night, so obviously the pattern is not completely done yet. However, the Sun, Moon, and Shawls pattern is done, and that got released this morning. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Yeah, Nora Sue, the low back could either be worn with something that was low back underneath, or you could show a decorative back of your slip dress underneath. So lots of ways you can style this, and I will show lots of ways to style it when I release the pattern and have photos for it and all that good stuff. Okay, so I shared the new yarns, the new colors of yarn. There's another commemorative product that I released this morning for the show, and that is the Kristin Omdahl Show mugs. These are 11-ounce mugs that you could use for coffee, tea, whatever. And oh, by the way, I will be giving away 10 balls of each of these colors this morning, and I will be giving away a couple, somewhere in the 1 to 2 dozen coffee mugs this morning. And so all of the giveaways are going to be, the winners are going to be chosen through comments on the blog post about the about this episode. So you'll find that there'll be a link here, there'll be a link in the video description. If you just go to my blog, it's the most recent blog post. It's the 1000th episode blog post, and I'll be giving away balls of these 2 colors of Be So Luxe yarn. I'll be giving away coffee mugs. I will also be giving away I will be autographing these tote bags, the 5 tote bags that have my artwork on them. They're drawstring and handled tote bags. So there's going to be tons of prizes to give away. The more comments, the more prizes I'll be giving away. I'll try to give away as much as I can, but also everybody is a winner because there is a free coupon code to choose a pattern of your choice, and all of this is listed in the blog post. If you just read the blog post, it'll tell you how to enter. You simply leave a comment on the blog post to be entered. Make sure you share some information so I can reply to you if you're a winner. You know, it can't be, if you're anonymous, that won't work, right? So here are the bags that I'll be giving away. I'll be giving away several of all of these. I'll be giving away many of the mugs, and I will be giving away many of the balls of yarn, and all of these things are for sale too. So even if you don't win a mug, you'll still be able to purchase the mugs. I believe they're $7.99 a piece on my website. The yarn is $5.99 a piece on my website, and the bags I believe are $4.99, and I'll be giving away tons of these. But even if you don't win, you can always still purchase them too. Okay, does anybody have any questions about any of this? Because if you don't understand how to enter, if you don't understand any of this, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions, and then once we get through any questions that anyone might have, I will start reading the audience stories about what the Kristin Omdahl Show has meant to them over the years. They are great project bags, yes, and I still have them in stock. And again, all of these products are going away. This will be the last time you can purchase physical products from me. You know, can I predict the future? Am I going to work with another company one day, collaborate with somebody? Am I going to have physical products again one day? Maybe. At the moment, no, I'm not. I am liquidating all of my physical products right now and going back to just books and patterns. So all of these other physical products, if you want them, now's the time to buy, because when they're gone, they will not be restocked. So in addition to all of these giveaways today, if you still want any of these things, they are for sale on my website as well. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen's been here since episode 53. That's wonderful. Okay, so if there are no other questions, then I will get started on the stories. And like I said, I don't know how long we're going to go today. I'm going to read everyone's stories just like I promised. Okay, so we'll start with initials AW. Wrote, I love Kristin's show on her live video. Love the way she motivates, shares her opinion on what she's gone through, and also share all her crochet and knitting patterns with us. She's such a wonderful person. Thank you, AW. AP wrote, Dear Kristin, thank you so much for helping us through the darkness of the pandemic and lockdown. Your cheery attitude, your beautiful designs, gorgeous yarns, and helpful tutorials inspire me daily. That's wonderful, AP. Thank you so much. AS wrote, thank you for showing us the power we have to defeat domestic violence with the knitting and crochet, really inner strength. Wonderful. I'm so glad, AS. And you can read all of these yourself at your own leisure on that blog post also. Sometimes people retain information differently when they hear someone read versus reading themselves. Thank you, Cinderella. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Okay, so AN wrote, Dear Kristin, thank you for making this show a permanent fixture. It is very much appreciated and will continue to be permanent. I'm on extended sick leave recovering from PTSD and anxiety syndrome. I'm fortunate enough to receive excellent help, and I'm getting stronger and braver again, but it takes time and effort, and I'm often exhausted. Your show is like a good friend, and I can visit without pressure. I love that I can say hello and participate if I want to, or just sit quietly and still feel like I'm not alone. That makes me so happy. I'm heartened and encouraged by the kindness I see, and that means a lot too. I need to be reminded that the world is more than the super scary place my brain tells me it is. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say thank you and share my story anonymously. Wonderful. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this. I want everyone to feel like they can share their story, share so happy, and I'm absolutely thrilled that this has helped you. You know, it was hard for me to even start the show. I was so afraid to go live. Like, it took me, I think, a year to finally go live for the first time. I was so afraid of being a failure or no one showing up. So, congrats to all of us. Okay, AW wrote, when I was 13 in 1988, I spent my summer in Cape Coral, Florida, which is about 45 minutes north of here. We often went to Fort Myers and Sanibel Island, and it was the most beautiful scenery that I've ever seen to that point. It was also the first time I'd ever seen the Gulf of Mexico, even though I had grown up about 50 miles north of New Orleans. Cool. I had a kitty that we lost just a few years ago and named Sanibel. Oh, that's so sweet, and I'm sorry for your loss. That area left such an impression on me that watching your show on beach days just puts me in a happy place. Granted, crochet and all the goodness that comes with it puts me in a different happy place, but there is just nothing like the beach or water to completely set my mind and soul at ease. I now live in Texas near Dallas, and it's difficult to get down to the Gulf, and it's just not the same as it is down in Florida. I started watching your show around the 500th episode, and I've been hooked ever since. I will admit that I started watching for the beach, but I continue to watch for the content. I very rarely catch an episode live, but I always watch the recorded version. I think it is wonderful that you share so much of your life experiences with us, because either one, we can relate to what you're saying and knowing someone else who has gone through similar things and sometimes help us, or two, we can learn from your experiences and hopefully never have to go through them ourselves. Yes. Both are important. Like you often say, we are more alike than we are different. I love that you knit also, and that you make such beautiful items and teach us so wonderfully that I have considered learning to knit as well. Yay! I can fumble through the knit stitch okay, but only for something as simple as a dishcloth. I'm confident I could learn from your wonderful way of teaching. Thank you for doing so much for all of us, and happy 1000th episode. Here's to the next 1000 episodes. And now that I'm on your website, I have some shopping to do. Wonderful. Okay, next is AG. I live in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, which is an island in the Caribbean. Our country is famous for our carnival and our food, in particular doubles, two dough called bara and chana. You guys know it as chickpeas. It's the best. I do love Trini food. I used to have a friend that was from Trinidad, and I had some amazing food at her house. Our country is built up of many different races and cultures, and we live together as best as we can. I taught myself to cross stitch. I did that for many years. My mother tried to teach me crochet. It didn't work. I wasn't getting anything through my thick skull. Didn't want to learn anymore. My second daughter, I have two girls, was expecting my first grandchild about 4 years ago, and I wanted to make lots of things for her, which I did. I also got hooked on YouTube, which introduced me to your podcast and what you stand for. Thank you. My goal is to buy your yarns and crochet things for my daughters and granddaughters so they would have things made by me. Thanks again for all you do. May God continue to bless you and your family. Thanks. How sweet. I love it. BK wrote, Kristin, I have crocheted and knitted for over 50 years. I slowed down after kids came along, but you've gotten my interest back into yarn. Your inspiration has triggered a new love of yarn art, and your projects are fabulous. Love to create them and love to give and wear them. Thank you for your creativity and sharing. It has really enhanced my elder years. Wonderful. BM wrote, hi, I actually wanted to submit a person for one of your interviews. Okay, well, we'll share that for the interviews. And as far as my story, I'm a 55-year-old Air Force veteran, mother of 3, excellent human beings, and former special education teacher. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse and violence, and a survivor of a 24-year marriage to a sociopath. Whew! Sprinkle in a little PTSD from the military, and your show has become one of my favorite lifelines. Wow. I love you, girl. Thank you for being you and for all you do. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's very humbling to me, but amazing. All right. Next is BJ. I am a disability support worker from Australia. One of my clients is vision impaired. So if I had to describe the Kristin Omdahl show to her, then it would probably be like this. The presenter of the show is exceptionally talented and gifted in all areas of crafting, but especially in knitting and crochet. Not only is she very intelligent, witty, funny, inspiring, compassionate, and caring, she actually designs her own fabulous patterns and owns her own brand of gorgeous yarns in a variety of sizes and a multitude of awesome colors, as well as an array of other craft-related items. Her patterns are always written in great detail, easy to understand, and accompanied by charts. She also teaches us how to read the charts in her step-by-step video tutorials. She has a fantastic website with great features and excellent offers. Kristin is a successful author of several popular books and a well-liked presenter on YouTube. Her channel is always fun, full of fresh ideas, and she thankfully loves to share her wealth of knowledge, experience, tips, and tricks on all sorts of topics, not just knitting and crochet, like cooking, gardening, fashion, skincare, hair care, exercise, home decor, with the rest of us. She works extremely hard at promoting her brand, but then gives back to the community through her Kristin Cares charity, which she created to bring awareness to victims of domestic violence and literally relates on a personal level, being a survivor herself. She has a bubbly, positive personality and energy that is infectious. I also enjoy seeing the close bond she shares with her adult son when we get glimpses of them together on camera. Almost got him to come this morning. Almost. We'll get him again soon. The KO Show is one of the most favorite channels to watch on YouTube. I don't get to join the live shows at the time difference between our countries doesn't allow for this, but I always watch the recordings so that I never miss an episode. I commend Kristin for her vision, drive, and excellence. Well done, you've got this. Wow, thank you so much. All right, BS wrote, Kristin is a fabulous teacher. I have learned to love crochet again. Yes, my grandmother taught me how to crochet when I was about 10. I picked it back up after I retired 8 years ago. My favorite tip from Kristin is the foundation ovals. I look forward to her live videos, patterns, and yarn. Not many yarn people have live videos where we can ask questions and interact. She has a tender heart, excited to see the yarn dyeing process coming soon. Thank you for sharing your gift. You are welcome. CA wrote, I have been enjoying your YouTube channel for about 3 years. Since the pandemic, I've been teleworking and watching your lives almost every single morning as I work. Your presentations on the beach, along with your positive, honest, and upbeat attitude and your willingness to freely impart your knowledge to your viewers is proof that you honestly believe in what you say at the end of each show. For you truly share and inspire each and every day. Those things which you lovingly create. Blessings and best wishes. Thank you. You know, I'm too cheap to buy Kleenex, just so you know. I never buy Kleenex. I blow my nose or wipe tears off my face with paper towels and toilet paper. I don't know why, but it's always the way I've been. So I almost bought a box of Kleenex to bring here this morning so I would look normal to all of you. And then at the last minute I said, you know what? This is me. And I brought a pile of paper towels to wipe my eyes because I knew I'd start crying at some point. But thank you, CA. Okay, AN wrote, I started watching down around episode 175 to 200. Don't remember. My friends and family would call you my guru at the time because I would not miss a live show no matter what. I've learned I can miss live and watch replay. Wonderful. That's really amazing. It really is. But it's amazing that you can do both. Thank you, YouTube. Oh yeah, we forgot to thank YouTube today. Thank you to YouTube for giving us this opportunity to begin with. Absolutely. But thank you so much for teaching us. I've learned I can read patterns and charts from you. I too have been a victim since I was 5 years old, severely abused, but I'm like a cat with 9 lives and have survived. I still live with so much abuse from family, but at 60, I have more life behind me than in front of me. You're so strong and admire the job of raising Marlon. I raised 2, always having my own business. I enjoy my freedom that I have now and still look forward to learning more from you. Thank you so much. Thank you, AN. Wonderful. CR wrote, I discovered you before you started your own company and have followed you for many years because I absolutely love your designs. They are so stylish and feminine. You are my all-time favorite designer. Aw, my favorite yarn is your first yarn, Be So Fine, although I love your other yarns as well. What I admire about you most is you had the courage to leave an abusive relationship and now want to help others that are doing the same. You also that you stay positive in a challenging world and try to lift others up as well. You also work so hard at being an entrepreneur. You're an example for all of us. Thank you, CR. That is so sweet. Okay, CS wrote, hello and congratulations. I've been watching your lives from the low 200s and mostly recorded since I am in San Diego. I have learned so much from you and enjoyed your yarns and patterns over the years. More than that, I feel a real fondness and affection for you. The biggest non-yarny impact you have had on my life is your wonderful example of body image positivity. That's awesome. I am 4 years older than you and my struggle with middle age spread is real. Well, I also had breast cancer and a mastectomy. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyway, my body has really changed and you've been very helpful in showing how to accept myself with love instead of shame or embarrassment. Yes! I admire how you never hesitate to share your stats when you are showing us a garment. Very true. I think that's the best way to help everybody. I think it's lovely that you feed yourself well and try to exercise as much as your schedule allows. You're a very good example. I'm happy to say I've started walking around my neighborhood and going to the gym again. Good for you. I take my crochet with me, really. I have a project bag that hangs from my forearm, and if it goes, and I go for it if circumstances allow. I do get some looks at the gym, but people's opinions of me are none of my business. Very true. Dear lady, I really enjoy your show. I could go on and on about your cooking, styling tips, fashion finds, and creative expertise. And don't get me started on your handsome boy, human and feline. Suffice to say, your handsome boys, human and feline. Suffice it to say, I'm looking forward to the next 1,000. Much love, CS. Thank you so much, CS. DP wrote, Kristin, I really found YouTube with knitting and crocheting when the pandemic began. I found you through a search and I've watched you daily ever since. 5 days live plus any extra videos. You lifted my spirit in your home, in your studio, or at the beach. I depended on your cheerful attitude to help me through some of my tough days. I lost a few friends and family members due to the virus, quarantined, and couldn't see my only grandchild for almost 18 months. It may sound silly, but crocheting, knitting helped me survive spiritually. Your daily videos helped to teach me, encourage me to try new patterns. I've learned how to read charts, step out and try new stitches, and buy patterns to create. I've loved supporting you and your charities. You've been an inspiration to women that we need to get away from domestic violence, and how you found a future for yourself and your son. It's wonderful to hear your stories and how vulnerable and humbly you share about those hard times of the past. You weren't sure where things were going to end up, but you were and are continually working hard to make a better life for yourself and your son. Be proud of being the best mom you could be and showing your son to be a loving and kind man. Your talents as a designer and writer are wonderful. I've enjoyed watching your videos these last 2 years, buying patterns and yarn and books. I've shared books with others and your story and your creativity. Thanks for these past years, and I look forward to many more videos in the future. Absolutely. Be proud and continue encouraging, inspiring people in all aspects of your life. Thank you. Added information. Let's see. Your show was very helpful during a horrible time in the world. It gave me a place to come and feel like I was visiting with friends in the healthy and safety of my living room. You taught me a lot about knitting and crochet, but wait, there's more. You shared your life and how important it is for you to help others, especially people that have or are going through domestic violence. Not everyone will be so transparent, and if we want to make changes in the world, we need to talk about uncomfortable situations. Yes, yes. You do this well and also have a foundation to help people transitioning. I've become more involved with donating hats for the homeless. Wonderful, and I need to do more. Keep being you and sharing your life in all of your creative venues. It's a blessing to more people than you'll ever know. Thank you for being a yarny friend in my life for the last 2+ years. Thank you so much, DP. Thank you, gosh, thank you everybody who's shared your stories. I hope you're enjoying this. I am. I made a point to not read them. I made a point to collect all of them and not read them. I'm reading them for the first time live on the air. I felt like that was the most special way to do this together. You're hearing them live, I'm reading them live, and that way you can capture my reaction. Obviously I'm going to get choked up. These are very special and they're very heartfelt, and I am reading them for the first time as I'm reading them out loud to you. Hey, why not? We're live. Okay, DD wrote, to keep this short, I would like to say watching the Kristin Omdahl show and all the other names it's been, I have gone from making simple hats, scarves, and the occasional shawl to making any project I want without fear. Yes, I also wanted to thank you for being here for all of us who resonate with you personally. With much love, DD. Oh, thank you so much. DS wrote, the Kristin Omdahl show has been a bright spot in my day since I started watching it. You, Kristin, are so inspiring to me. I love your work ethic. I love how you love your family, and I love your cause project, Kristin Cares. You're a wonderful woman, and I admire all that you do. I enjoy the show each day I get to watch live, and also on the days when I get to watch the tape show. I do learn so much from you. Enjoy your perspective on how to make items. All the yarns I have purchased from you are A+ quality. You are a class act, and do not stop what you are doing. Much love and support from me always, DS. Thank you so much. DC wrote, Kristin, your show starts my day and truly sets my mood for the rest of the day. Perhaps it's because you are always by the beach surrounded by nature, but your pleasant voice and warm smile, which are so appealing to me. You are like a friend I've never met. I love that you include personal stories, just knowing we aren't alone in our struggles and in our happy days too. I recently had bowel surgery and spent 15 days in the hospital. Oh my goodness. So I missed all of the shows for that time. It was calming when I came home to catch up on your videos. Your website is also so easy to maneuver, and I love that I can access all my patterns in one spot. Yes. Thank you for providing so much crochet information. I've learned so much from you and can't wait to make something. You are an inspiration. Thank you, DC. Thank you so much. Another DC. I love you, Kristin. As a good person you are, I not only learned how to crochet better and prettier through the years, but I learned how to handle life disappointments better. Wonderful. You taught me how to have high esteem with myself. Yes. Practice showing love for all people. God bless you. You are my friend. Sincerely, DC. Thank you, DC. DW wrote, I started watching the Kristin Omdahl show when I was sent home from work due to COVID in 2020. I'm an early riser and would crochet in the mornings and happened to find Kristin's channel. I've been hooked ever since. I really enjoyed the pre-chat time she gives us to chat with others. That is really cool. Thanks, YouTube, again. We have the best conversations. It's been a joy to watch Kristin's business grow with new patterns, new yarns and products, and all the new friends stopping by. I've learned so much from watching Kristin. I enjoy her teaching style, and my crocheting has improved. Here's to the next 1,000 episodes. Congratulations, Kristin, on your 1,000th episode. Thank you so much, DW. HH wrote, hello, Kristin, greetings from Central California. I started watching the Create, Share, Inspire podcast, one of the previous names. So we started with Yarn on the Beach, then Create, Share, Inspire podcast, and then to the Kristin Omdahl show, but it's still the same show. I started watching in the early 200 episodes by scrolling around and looking for shawl patterns. Your smile, openness, and enthusiasm was the first thing I noticed, then the sound of the waves hitting the beach kept me watching. Then I saw that you brought yarn on the beach, and I was won over by all of your content. Raising kids, going back to school online, and traveling to take care of my mom was a stressful time, but I could always count on tuning into your channel every day at the same time to get your optimism and encouragement from the Create, Share, Inspire podcast and notebooks, as they encouraged me to never give up and start my long day. Thank you for being courageous, authentic, and kind to all your subscribers. Your uplifting smile that hits people's hearts every morning. It is my opinion that if you could bottle this gift and send it out into the world, it would solve so many problems. I wish. Secondly, I have developed and grown in my knitting and crochet ability by leaps and bounds because of your tutorials and podcast. My favorite shows include the episode where you crochet a design from start to finish called the Friendship Shawl. That was like a 5-hour day, right? And watching my favorite interview was with Vanna White. I enjoy seeing your cats, Bjorn and Becker, do their camera hugs and kneading on your robe when on live chat. In addition, they are sweet, sweeties, sweet babies. In addition, your unique food recipes, healthcare products, and piano, name a tune, adds happiness throughout my day. We need to do the piano ones again soon. You deserve so much goodness in life for all you do for others. Thank you so much for sharing your life with us and changing my outlook on life. You're a national treasure, a unique masterpiece, and a true blessing to everyone. Here's to another 5,000 episodes. I couldn't agree more. Thank you. Here's to the next 5,000, but thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you, HH. AN, I first learned about Kristin with the pearl cardigan crochet along and was hooked. That was from Crochet So Fine, my second book in 2008. I started to follow her in different media, and she has managed to inspire me throughout the years. She has so many different aspects besides the yarn: makeup, exercise, baking, cooking, and pretty much anything that comes to Kristin's mind, and most of it I can relate to. I also love that Kristin is sharing so much of herself. We got to watch the shark hunter grow into a lovely young man, and we get to watch Kristin, her business, and her show growing and glowing. Though I am not always able to watch the live show, I try really hard to do so. It actually got me out of bed on many mornings when I was going to hit the snooze button 87 more times. The live show is like coming home every morning. It offers a feeling of comfort seeing many of the same people and having the daily routine. I love the personal greeting and the interactions. Oh yeah, one more thing. Kristin has shared so many patterns with us. The patterns are well written and the projects are a joy to make. Kristin, you are truly an inspiration. Thank you and congratulations on the big 1,000. Thank you so much. GL wrote, what I learned from you, Kristin, is knitting and crochet techniques, thousands of advice by sharing all of what you know, cooking advices, miracles of nature, and much more. Thank you, GL. GS wrote, hello, Kristin, and all who have joined the 1,000 episode. My journey with the Kristin Omdahl Show is more than a show. It is a lifelong learning experience. I am not exactly certain when I started watching the show, but I do remember that when I quit smoking 8 years ago, I learned to do something with my hands. I needed to do something with my hands. I learned to crochet from numerous crochet videos, hopping from one to another, and I came across Kristin, the Sunny Isle shawl, and I had to make it. At that time, I was making dishcloths. I knew nothing, so I placed my first order of yarn and fell in love with Be So Fine. However, even with the slowed down video, I tried to do it. I knew single and double crochet only at the time. Rewind, pause, try. Rewind, pause. Oh, but I was determined to learn and complete. That's the beauty of video right there. That's what I think makes video such a powerful tool for learning. And I did. I have been making your patterns and only using your yarns ever since. I learned so much from your podcasts, tutorials, books, and the list goes on. Every time you come out with a new pattern, it's exciting and I can't wait to dive in. The wonderful thing about that is I know that I can complete anything because your patterns have everything you need to complete, and my favorites are the charts. I have been knitting since last June and I can read those now too. Your talent is endless. I started watching the podcast, not sure of the date exactly, and I was hooked. Pun intended. You have a contagious laugh. I truly pray that a snake never comes on the beach. And a gift for teaching and explaining. I may even start enjoying math a bit more. And if you don't, it's okay, because I enjoy it enough for all of us. I would also like to share that when you are doing your podcast, of course, no one knows what might be going on in someone's life while they are watching it. And I would personally like to thank you for getting my mind off of the sad parts of life. The 24 Crochet Hats book kept me busy when my father was going through radiation last year, and I made so many hats for him in the chemo radiation office. Their bin was never empty like it was when I first went in. I did not want this to get sad, so I need to switch gears. You and your podcast, that's why I did the book. That's why I made a hat book. That's amazing, and I'm so glad to hear that. You and your podcast have helped me do my craft better and better with each project. You are inspiring and someone to respect and listen to. If my mind was half as creative as yours, it would explode. I thank you for everything you do day in and day out for all of us here, and I respect you as an artist, mother, creator, and businesswoman. You are truly amazing, a friend and fan. Please add that I'm a survivor also at the end of my story. Thank you, GS. Thank you so much, GS. That means the world to me. It really does. GC wrote, I was taught is this? This is one of our moderators, I think. Nope, no, it's not. This is GC. GC. I was taught to crochet by my mom when I was 3.5 years old. I can't remember not crocheting. It is my go-to when I feel down. I also taught myself to knit at 8 years old. I am 82 years old now and still feel creative now and again. I rarely follow a pattern completely. I veer off and do my own thing now and again. I have 17 grandchildren and several more great-grandchildren, and I have made each one something either knitted or crocheted. Kristin, you are doing what I wish I could have done years ago, blogging. Wonderful. Thank you so much, GC. I'm so glad that you're making stuff for all your family. Okay. HG wrote, first, congratulations on your upcoming 1000th episode. It has been my pleasure to be a follower of yours. I look forward to your episodes and seeing what do you have in store for us crafters and beachgoers. Your many viewers and myself have been inspired by you. During this last year when our lives were turned upside down and inside out, your show has been my salvation through it. Your show is a little piece of Eden for me. I join others with the same mindset. There are so many things to do here. Heck, there is even yoga. Kristin, congratulations on the 1000th episode. Congratulations to the crew behind the scenes as well. Absolutely. Thank you to Judy, and thank you to all of our moderators, and to Jess and Marlon. Yes, everybody. And YouTube, again, YouTube as well. Okay, IR wrote, Kristin, I am a super survivor. Rather, I have been called a super survivor. My childhood was violent both physically and sexually. My stepfather once told me, I'll let you guys read that in the written version. Education saved my life. Al-Anon and ACA also saved my life. I don't want to trigger anybody with details of abuse in the podcast today, so this is all written out in the blog post. If you want to read the rest of what she wrote, you can read it there. It's just out of respect to everybody that I'm choosing to do that. AN wrote, and thank you, IR, for sharing your story, and it means a lot to everybody, including me. Thank you so much. AN wrote, hi Kristin, I have known about you since pre-YouTube days because of the world of fiber art, and then one day I discovered you on YouTube. You are a generous and kind person. Your sharing and positive attitude has strongly drawn me to you. Plus, we are both Michiganders. I am proud of the strength you show and the heartfelt stories you share. Your success proves to women worldwide what a true feminist should be. Always kind, never mean. You are a person we need to model ourselves after. Thank you, Kristin, for all you do. Thank you so much, AN. Thank you. Another AN wrote, I hesitated to share this because it seems so fundamental. Although I love your patterns, tutorials, yarns, recipes, and everything you produce, it's your attitude and friendly nature that has impacted me the most. I love how you see beauty and joy in everything. Very true. It's contagious. The world needs more Kristins. You should absolutely be proud of yourself. I can't imagine doing 1,000 live episodes and responding to people in real time. That would scare the heck out of me. Thank you, AN. I appreciate it. All right, JB wrote, I started crocheting again after many years, and a friend introduced me to Kristin Omdahl yarns via Instagram. On most mornings at 8 a.m., I am watching the Kristin Omdahl show. It's a joy to start my day with fellow makers and the very creative Kristin. Thank you, JB. JD wrote, I don't know how I came across your YouTube channel, but I'm so glad I did. I have been fine for probably 6 or 7 years, maybe even more. I haven't even met you on occasions for coffee. Oh, I have met you on occasions for coffee when I've been in Florida. You are just so sweet and kind in person as you are in your videos. I have shared your patterns many times, and I have made them countless times. Yours is the only yarn I buy now. I'm thrilled to see how your business has grown and that you have a staff that helps you out. I pray for God to continue to keep you safe and well and bless your hard work. Thank you so much, JD. JA is Joe Atwood, one of our moderators, so I will be saying her name out loud. I first saw Kristin on an early episode of Yarn on the Beach. I'd found a pattern for a Tunisian scarf using Be So Wild yarn via a Google search, and I made it and loved it so much I started watching for more of her products work and found the podcast. I was so excited. I love the beach and I love crochet, and Kristin's upbeat and fun personality was and still is amazing. Having crocheted since my grandmother taught me at age 6, I've always wanted to learn to knit, but each time I tried it was a disaster and I'd end up frustrated and unhappy. Then I watched Kristin's knit and started watching the tutorials on casting on, the knit stitch, and the purl, and discovered I could actually do it. Good for you, Joe. Every knit question I would ask, Kristin would answer in such an encouraging way. It meant the world to me. I'd ask if I could knit that as a beginner, and Kristin would say, absolutely I could. It wasn't long before I was lucky enough to become a moderator for the podcast, and all of a sudden I had new friends who have become good friends over the years. I love going back and rewatching the podcast from the beginning just for the enjoyment of them. It has been such fun watching the show evolve, seeing the cooking live shows, the Zen videos, the sunset editions, and soaking up the tutorials on patterns and stitches. Can't wait to see what happens next on the Kristin Omdahl Show. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you. JG wrote, although I've not been following you, Kristin, for a very long time, you have given me a lot of tools to take my knitting to another level, not only with knitting, but crochet also, learning about different things as well, like color groups, mixing and matching the colors, and how to wear different garments. I enjoy the time spent on the beach, which is a very comfortable setting and relaxing. I hope to be able to continue to follow you and keep on learning. Also, the tips and tricks on skincare is priceless. Congratulations to your 1000th episode, and may you have many, many more. Thank you so much, JG. Next one is JW, Judy Weingarten, which all of you know as one of the moderators here, customer service, and someone who answers everybody's questions live here as well. So this is Judy's post. I didn't know that my life would change on Friday, October 21st, 2011, but it did. That's the day, I remember this date too, Judy. That's the day I took my first class with Kristin Omdahl. She was teaching from her new book, Seamless Crochet. I didn't know when I was registered for the class that Kristin would not only become my favorite teacher, but also one of my closest friends. The view in the corner classroom that Friday morning was sunny and bright. It was gorgeous in there, but Kristin was brightest of all. That's saying a lot, Judy, because that was a really pretty classroom. As is usual, the class hung on her every word, enthralled by what she was saying. I have heard Kristin teach many, many times since then, and I am always in awe of how fast her mind works and how much she is willing to share. Kristin, it has truly been an honor to play a small part in your amazing journey to today's spectacular 1000th episode. The energy and effort required for such an undertaking is mind-boggling. I sit at home at my desk while you trek out in all sorts of weather to keep us entertained and educated. Whether you are overheated, wearing a parka, getting rained on, or want to cry, you put on your smile and bring joy, beauty, grace, love, and learning to our homes. 100,000 cheers for you, my friend. I am blessed to be part of the KO community. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. JG wrote, hello, dear Kristin. I love you and everything you do and your crochet designs. I am starting one of your beautiful designs, someone called the Someone Poncho, and maybe it means Simone. Just a little about me. I am a round-the-clock crocheter almost. I am a widow with 3 grown boys. I belong to the secular Franciscan order. My grandma taught me to crochet when I was young, about 10 or so. Anyway, I love to watch your shows and learn from you. I would love if you would design a crochet princess style dress for plus sizes up to 4X. I do need one. It's something you could think about. Please continue to make figure flattering designs for plus sizes. Love everything about you. Thank you for being you. God bless you and your family. Thank you, JG. Another JG. Hi, Kristin. I've been watching you since Yarn on the Beach, but not day one. Although once I started, I was hooked. Haha, hooked. Get it? I do. I get it. I love the pun. I always admired your honesty. I felt like I knew the real you. I am somewhat shy, and your podcast is the only one I chatted on. Good for you. I haven't quite figured out the forum yet. That's okay. We'll figure it out. You'll get it. And we'll talk more about it. So if for anybody else, because we're more alike than we are different, if you're having issues, others are too. I turned my daughter onto you, and my 7-year-old granddaughter knows you too. That's awesome. I laugh when you scream if a thread touches your foot. I do all the same things all the time. I remember asking the ladies pre-chat if they thought I was too old to wear a shrug at 69, and they were encouraging and made me feel good. Wonderful. And thank you, moderators, because I would have said the same thing. You're never too old to wear anything that makes you happy. I feel like I belong. I'm glad we're taking this journey together. Wonderful. Thank you, JG. JB wrote, Dear Kristin, I'm watching your podcast since the beginning. You are actually what the doctor ordered. What I mean is that my sister was very sick from cancer. I'm so sorry. And she was on my mind every hour, every minute, every second of every day. So you see, someone can go nuts with only one thing on their mind. That's very true. So the doctor told me to find a hobby, something to take my mind away for a few minutes. And I saw you on the beach talking about crochet, knitting, food, exercise, family, life. I got hooked. My leg fell asleep. I gotta readjust. Okay. The scenery and you, beautiful you, never looked back. You are an inspiration. You give me strength when I run out, because with you, I know that I'm not dealing with stuff alone. My sister hangs on to life as long as she could, but the battle was extreme. Sadly, she passed away. I'm so sorry about your sister. I still think about her because she will always be my big sister. Yes, she will. But now you, Kristin, your podcasting crochet helps me to keep focus and enjoy life. Even if I don't have time to do all the crochet projects I would like to do, I know maybe one day I will. Thank you for your generosity, your stories, your crochet knowledge, and all that you share. Can't tell you enough how much I enjoy and love it. Love, JB. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. It's very humbling, and just, I can't even tell you what a gift it is for me to know that I make other people's rough situations better. So often we struggle with our own struggles alone, and to hear that what I do makes other people's struggles less of a burden is one of the greatest gifts of my entire life. I want you all to know that. KZ wrote, my story. Well, I remember buying a kit from you on eBay years ago. Maybe it was Etsy. I don't think I sold on eBay, but I do believe I sold on Etsy before I started my shop on my website. Before your show, and getting really flustered because I thought there were not enough ribbons to attach to the edge of the shawl. Never occurred to me that they needed to be spaced out. However, when I did reach out to you about this in the days of flip phones, how quickly you responded to me, but I didn't know how to send a picture of my work. Fast forward to January 2018, spending many a lonely morning in my hotel room in Lafayette, Indiana, while my dog was being treated at Purdue University. Your brightness and warmth, along with the beach, gave me something to distract my mind while waiting for morning doctor call. So often when I watch in the morning, I'd love to pack up the car and travel down there and sit with you, discussing fibers, stitches, how you've developed your skills, and enjoy the beauty of nature all around us. From the little you've shared, it sounds as though you've had a master's degree from the School of Hard Knocks that would have defeated so many others, yet you continually pull yourself up by the bootstraps, dust yourself off, and start again. Yes. Never, or such an admirable quality. Thank you for your warmth, sharing knowledge, and love of life, nature, and family. Wishing you all the best on episode 1000. Many more, and keep smiling. Storms are a part of life, but the sun is still there, just behind the clouds. Thank you, KZ. I appreciate it. KM wrote, one day in June of 2019, I was searching YouTube on how to wind a center pull ball of yarn by hand. I came across what I was looking for. It was episode 426. I enjoyed watching the episode, and I loved that it was at the beach, and being an Oklahoma girl, I don't see the ocean very often. The episode was enough to grab my attention, and I decided to start watching your channel. I had only been crocheting for about 7 months at this point and was trying to learn as much as I could about crochet. At this point, I only knew how to crochet simple scarves and blankets. I wanted to do more, so I started searching your tutorials and came across the Key West shawl. The tutorial was great and easy to follow. I then discovered the Create, Share, Inspire Facebook page. I joined and shared a picture of the shawl that I had made. That's when I found out that you also sold yarn. And I'm glad I did, because I love using your yarn. You have inspired me in so many ways. Every day I push myself to try new things. Yay! I have learned to read charts and even make some garments. The first garment I made was the Summer Love Vest. I never dreamed that I would have come this far by watching your show and your tutorials. But I have learned so much from you in these past few years, and I still learn new things every day when I watch. I love the excitement and passion you have in making things, whether it is with yarn or food. True. I am very passionate about food too. It brings out the passion in me to be more creative. I enjoy getting up every morning to have my coffee and watch your show. I love chatting with everyone and seeing what surprises you have in store for us that day. Your show and the connection to all the wonderful people in this community have especially helped me through this past year. year. It has been a very tough one. My mother passed away in February from cancer. I'm so sorry to hear that. My son left for the Air Force basic training in March, and last month he got his orders to be stationed in Germany for 3 years. I've only seen him twice since he left in March. Wow. Then in April, I had a surgery that took me several months to recover from. I have had a lot of emotional stress going on during that time, but watching your show every day was a way to have a nice little chat, get away in the morning, and helped me get motivated to start the day. It gave me a sense of peace, and somehow you would always say something that I needed to hear. Watching your show and keeping myself busy with crochet, I believe, was helping me heal emotionally. I am just really thankful that you have chosen to share your talent in everyday life with us. It truly means a lot to me. I have come so far with my crocheting and personal growth because of your willingness to share. I'm so glad I found your channel 2.5 years ago. Thank you for everything, KM. Thank you, KM. Thank you. Thank you so much. AN wrote, "Hi Kristin, and congratulations on reaching episode 1000 today. While I only recently found your channel earlier this year, I did not want to let this huge milestone go by without being a part of it." Good! Reaching a goal of 1000 consecutive daily and live episodes, oh yeah, is just amazing. I believe that you do give 110% effort in all your work, and that you definitely provide very high value for the patterns, live episodes, books, written charts, and tutorial videos that you make available. The past 2 years have been especially challenging for everyone on the planet, and I want you to know that your beach walks and then the teachings or discussions episodes with the beach in the background, and what caught my attention originally, oh, don't lose my tissue. Gotta keep my wad of paper towels tissue. Okay. Caught my attention originally. I could not believe someone would take their time to share and just wake up on the beach and share and just walk up to the beach and back, letting viewers listen to the water and take in all the soothing views, or bring us a beautiful Florida beach sunset and share the moment. I share those with everyone I know. Then I saw you were also willing to freely share yourself and make it so easy for viewers to connect with you. I feel that you share more information and also more of yourself and all of your experiences than most designers do. You have given enough of your crafting how-to skills and design process, as well as enough of your personal life, that we each can quickly feel that we have a good friend who lives at a beautiful beach and teaches us crochet and knitting very thoughtfully. This has all helped me find some calm and sanity through these weird times we live in. And I know that I am not alone with these sentiments. I would encourage anyone new to crochet or knitting to get familiar with your designs and yarns in your YouTube channel, because you explain the designs, post video tutorials, provide written line-by-line instructions, as well as explain and provide charts. It is easy to learn a new craft solely because of your efforts. You take time to present each of your yarns and spend enough time highlighting yarn colors and combinations that it becomes easy to make decisions even without ever first seeing the yarn in person. You have said that you do not want to have people talk about just about you, but your work and accomplishments are definitely deserving of appreciation. I have not been a part of the live videos very long, but the friendly community you have gathered together is a tribute of your efforts too. That never just happens. I lost my father just as the pandemic was starting. I'm sorry to hear that. It was just his time, no correlation. No, thank you.
I was just trying to untangle them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. They've been
What does the 1000 stand for?
1000th episode of my live podcast.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. And I'm reading, all of my viewers wrote in what the show has meant to them for the 1000 episodes, so I'm reading their comments live on the air for everybody to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm here live in public. I don't expect to be. It's fine. Okay, where were we? I lost my father just as the pandemic was starting, and I'm sorry to hear that. It was just his time, no correlation. We lived in DC for 12 years and had just moved back home to Atlanta. Family dynamics, siblings change when a family loses a loved one. Very true. All of that did happen, and missing Dad has been weighing very heavily over these past 2 years for me personally. So I could never thank you enough for being such a sharing and positive person while offering real value in your yarns and designs. Knitting and crochet are very therapeutic, I find. I have been more of a process knitter, although I do finish projects, but with crochet, I think it will be easier for me to have finished items that I can be proud to use or gift to others. I consider these new skills to be a gift from you. I wish you continued success in your work, and I look forward to supporting you and seeing all of your new books, patterns, and upcoming plans. I am so thankful, most of all, that you have completely made lemonade out of some sour lemons that made their way into your life. Your son seems so well loved and well cared for, and you have a family to be very proud of. I'm happy to know that you donate a portion of each sale to help survivors of domestic violence and have kept the most positive and caring attitude through challenges you have faced. That is a huge accomplishment, and so many people are blessed and proud of you and are truly better because of your efforts and because of the choices you've made. Thank you. I love that you have accomplished this very big goal you set for yourself more than 3 years ago. Please keep the episodes and your wonderful work going, and know that there is a very large circle of friends that care about you. XOXOK. Thank you. Thank you, Kay. KR wrote, "Hello everyone. I found Kristin's podcast around episode 60. I immediately shared it with my sister Sharon. I said a name. Sorry, my sister S. She is more into knitting and I'm more into crochet. I've enjoyed Kristin's show for many reasons. I'm very impressed with her as a person. Kristin is very positive, optimistic, kind, not judgmental, doesn't hold a grudge, very generous. She shares her designs with everyone, and hello, a very talented designer. I appreciate that she wants to help in any way and the many people caught in the domestic violence. She has valuable insights because she has dealt with and is dealing with some negative issues currently. I hope Kristin continues to have her show. I will. Shows staying, so she's able to inspire others. And for what I've seen already, Kristin has a warehouse full of ideas and designs in her brain. Yes, I do. Thank God. Really, the best is yet to come. Yes, it is. Thank you, Kristin. KR. P.S. We can't do without Judy either. Yes, big shout out to Judy as well. AN wrote, in January 2020, I decided to quit my job. This was before the pandemic hit the U.S., and I found your channel. Oh, my legs fell asleep again. No, it's just my right leg. Just gotta move it. Ah. All right, regroup. Maybe that'll stay, maybe it won't stay asleep now. Okay. Okay. That was before the pandemic hit the US and I found your channel. I think I really enjoyed experiencing winter and snow here, but seeing the beautiful, peaceful, warm beach in your background. It is always very soothing to hear the waves and watch them while you talk about crochet or knitting. You are so creative, it just inspires me to try something new. I also enjoy how you made a shawl, poncho, and top, but demonstrate so many ways it can be worn. I just love watching your show. I did go back to work part-time and do not have time to watch the live show, but in the evenings I can be found watching your soothing, creative, inspiring show. I feel like we are friends video chatting. Thank you so much for all you do. Let's do another 1,000. Yes, another 1,000. Thank you, AN. KD wrote, the Kristin Omdahl show gave me a reason to get up in the morning during COVID, and now I look forward to watching every weekday. The host goes out of her way to please everyone with a variety of activities, from watching the Florida sunset, current yarn projects, cooking, walking in local parks, exercise, hair treatments, makeup, to what she's wearing. Her new 2021 website has been built with the customer in mind, absolutely, with easy searching and navigation. You can purchase yarn, patterns, books, kits, and accessories, and so much more. Anyone who has a negative comment about Kristin Omdahl does not know Kristin Omdahl. She is a caring individual with a big heart, who is always willing to share her knowledge and experience with the world. The world needs more people like her. P.S. She even shares her cats. Thank you. Thank you, KD. KM wrote, in May of 2019, I was diagnosed with stage 3 head and neck cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Over the course of the next year, I underwent major life-altering surgery, followed by a lengthy recovery, followed by 6 weeks of grueling daily radiation treatments, followed by an even lengthier recovery and 3 more surgeries. It was a terrifying time, and throughout it all, I was very weak and frail and frightened. I couldn't do much of anything, but I could sit in a chair and I could crochet. And as I crocheted, I'd watch videos about the fiber arts to distract me from my fear. It was then that I found you, dear Kristin. You were a beautiful, warm, bright, welcoming smile when so much else in the world was dark and grim. Your podcast became the highlight of my day, and when I wasn't watching your live show, I was binging my way through your archives. I don't think I could ever fully explain how much your daily presence in my life means to me. Your vibrant spirit and generous soul helped to carry me through the most uncertain time of my life. I don't comment often, but I've always watched. I'll always look forward to seeing you every day. I'm so grateful that I found you, and I'm so grateful to be alive, now 2 years and 5 months cancer-free. That's amazing. Amazing. Congratulations on your 1,000th show. I'll be right here watching the next 1,000 and beyond. Thank you, Kristin. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. With love, KM. Thank you so much, KM, and congratulations to you. That's wonderful, wonderful news about your health. KU wrote, Dear Kristin, I've been watching you since your early days on TV, then your blog, then during your first year on YouTube, Yarn on the Beach. Over the years, I've learned of your life's journey, and you have inspired me. When my husband was very sick in the hospital, he saw a cowl that I was working on and asked if he could have it when I was done. I gave it to him, and he wore it until shortly before he died. He took it off and told me to seal it in a plastic bag. I, of course, did that, and he died about a week later. That was in 2018. I can still smell him when I open the bag. I wanted you to know because of all of the cowls I've crocheted, he picked yours. That is so sweet. Thank you for sharing that, KU. So sweet, so touching. KA wrote, I first came across your channel looking for a simple dream catcher, but for myself. It was very new to crocheting and was impressed with the way you demonstrated these patterns and instinctively pressed subscribe as your strength from past experience have not brought you to your knees, but given you strength to succeed and become a positive role model for women who are struggling to get their lives on track. You show passion and hard work pays off. I was brought up in a very male-dominated house where women weren't meant to succeed in careers. I was even told I was too something to learn to knit or crochet. So at the age of 50, with the support of my stepdaughter, who had previously been in a refuge for domestic violence victims, taught me to have confidence and give crocheting a try. I've never looked back. Crocheting has been a gateway to a healthy mental state, especially during COVID, and with the support of like-minded yarny people, I've been able to succeed in a craft that I always believed was unattainable. I've just discovered my ancestors were Irish lace crocheters, and I've just made my first Irish lace shamrock motif in their honor. My Kristin Omdahl dream catcher is still proudly displayed and has helped my dreams come true. That is wonderful, KA. Thank you. AN wrote, Hi Kristin, and congratulations on reaching episode 1000 today. While I only recently found your channel earlier this year, I did not want to let this huge milestone go by without being a part of it. Reaching a goal of 1,000 consecutive daily and live episodes is just amazing. I believe that you do give 110% effort to all your work, and that you definitely provide high value for your patterns, live episodes, books, written charts, and video tutorials that you make available. The past 2 years have been especially challenging for everyone on the planet. Oh, I might have read this one already. I read that one already, sorry. Okay, there were a lot of duplicates in the form, so I thought I got them all out. Sorry about that. Okay, LA wrote, I'm French, and I met your channel on YouTube around your 220 episodes. I've made several patterns from your videos. I really love the videos on the beach. In fact, I'm a fan of you. Congrats for the 1,000. Thank you so much, LA. Another LA. I found Yarn on the Beach shortly after you began your first episode. I acquired a supply of yarn and was looking at how to relearn how to crochet to use my yarn. You were so encouraging, engaging, and welcoming from day one. I was hooked. I have learned so much from you, Kristin. To name a few things, there is no wrong way to be creative. I am enough, and so much about all things crochet, yarn, gauge, reading charts. In addition, your show has meant a lot to me on a more personal level. My husband had to have cancerous pancreatic tumor removed along with 4 other organs. Wow. We went through the chemotherapy and radiation treatments and now all the follow-up tests since then. But by the grace of God, my husband is still alive. All through this, your show was there to provide a warm distraction and comfort during these stressful years with you, sharing your life events, both happy and sad, along with the friendly chatting with everyone else. It has been fun to watch you and your show grow and change. Thank you, and I pray you have many more years of success, happiness, and joy. Thank you, LA. LJ wrote, I have a business that is similar to yours yet very different. I don't see you as a competitor. There's room at the top for all of us, of course. I knit a lot and crochet very little. I dye mostly wool, alpaca, cashmere, and silk. That's because I live in a more cooler climate than you. I teach classes and workshops, but mostly in person and nothing on YouTube. Like you, I work long hours every day of the week and do a lot of different textile-related things to make a living. I started my business when I was a teenager and used the income to pay for my degree in math and computer science. Good for you. I had a successful career as an actuary and then IT project manager. I became very unhappy working long hours in an office and quit my job to be creative and happy. I turned out to be a great decision because I was available to move closer to my mother and father and when they developed health problems. I can be there when they need me while still running my knitting business. When I was first getting used to working long hours alone rather than a busy office, I stumbled upon an episode of Yarn on the Beach and I loved it. I went back and listened to every episode, and now tuning into the Kristin Omdahl show is a regular part of my workday. It is inspiring to listen to you, know that we have similar struggles and successes in our business. Wonderful, thank you. Lisa Gaddis, one of our moderators, wrote, Kristin, I first saw your podcast, known then as Yarn on the Beach. I fell in love with the beautiful title, and after watching you in the podcast, felt like I had known you for years. Your passion and my love of crochet turned me into being even better at my craft. I have learned so many valuable lessons from you as I learned to create my own things from the best crochet designer, in my opinion, all around. I own a lot of your books as well as your yarn. Your yarn is to die for. The colors are so beautiful. I love making things with your yarns. I have made many things and continue to do some. I love you because of who you are, my teacher and my friend. Thank you for all you do, not just for me, but for all of us. Much love. Thank you so much, Lisa. And thank you for all that you do as a moderator here, too. LH wrote, in February of 2019, my beautiful 38-year-old left our home when she was living with her daughter and us and went to Virginia. After a month there, we lost contact with her. After many months without hearing from her, she was found in October deceased. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I was devastated and sad beyond words to describe the pain, depression, and sadness I was feeling. I just couldn't focus on anything and totally lost my mojo for crochet or any other craft. I would sleep much as possible. I was using Pinterest and your work would pop up. Beautiful. The reminders of your presentation would show up in my phone. I decided to go see what you were up to. I was following you for years, but stopped going to see your presentations. This time when I saw it pop up, I touched it and took me to your YouTube channel. Well, that did it for me. You made my goal to wake up, have my coffee, then watch your YouTube channel and watch your presentations. That was my goal, to wake up and see your presentations. It gave me color, smiles, pretty things that you made, even though I still am not crocheting, and took me out of the rabbit hole. I had a purpose to start my day, to fill my eyes and soul with beauty. After your show, I would go on taking care of granddaughter and life in general. Your time in my house made me feel alive, happy, and creative again. Your energy comes through and is big, bright, positive light. Thank you for being such a positive and bright influence in my life. Walk softly and in peace. LH. Thank you so much. LT wrote, my grandmother taught me at the age of 8 to crochet with fine thread. She was super strict, and until I could evenly chain a length and wrap the outside of her house, I was not taught anything else. Wow. It took a bit and my yarn got pretty shaggy, but I learned. Then she taught me how to read patterns. Lucky me. I picked it back up in my 70s, and the first shawl I crocheted was Kristin's. I think it was the Sanibel shawl. I enjoy your time and I am amazed at your energy and positivity. Thank you, Kristin. You're a real treat. Thank you, LT. LH wrote, first off, let me commend you for showing up each and every weekday to share with your followers your knowledge, creativity, and empowerment. Sometimes we as viewers forget how human a public figure really is. That's true. In other words, no matter your circumstances, daily life struggles and or successes, you always show up and go with the flow. Very true. My husband is self-employed, and I know firsthand that it is a 24/7 commitment. So I admire and deeply appreciate the hard work you put into your show and your business as a whole, and respect all of the blood, sweat, and tears of the behind-the-scenes work. I love the fact that you exclusively sell your yarn, package your own orders, ship promptly, and personally sign each packing slip. Always true. Thank you so much for sharing your creativity, inspirations, tips and tricks, and your time with us. You are truly an inspiration. Thank you. LM wrote, it's so refreshing that you let yourself be you. Your generosity of teaching and sharing your art not only inspires all of us, it gives us the ability to do the same. Yes. Thank you for your giving heart. Thank you, LM. Another LM. This is so much appreciated. There is so much I appreciate about you and your channel. I too am a victim of domestic violence and appreciate how you share your story. It helps to know there are others who have experienced similar abuses and have done so much for yourself and others, that we don't need to be ashamed of our abuse. I love that you go through the effort to travel to the beautiful beaches around you. It's not easy to load up and travel to the beach when you could do it from your studio. Also true. Your patterns and videos inspire me to step out of my comfort zone with my craft. Your yarns are beautiful and customer support is outstanding. My crochet and knitting have improved since finding your channel. I look forward to your podcast every day and your tutorials. Also your healthy recipes. Can't forget those. Thank you, LM. LH wrote, hi Kristin, I've been crocheting for almost 10 years now. I'm self-taught. So one day I was looking at YouTube. I came across your videos. I could look up anything. That helped me a lot. I have been told many times by others that I like a challenge. If it looks difficult, I want to try it because I'm learning something new. Your patterns in crochet or knitting are to die for. I picked out one of your crochet patterns called Annabelle's Shawl in a sport yarn from a book called Simply Crochet. I bought your yarn for this shawl. I learned all about color and then how I can put it together. You make it fun. Wow, I am a fan. Thank you, LH. LA wrote, Kristin, I'm so happy for you on this huge accomplishment. I cannot express how your positive and down-to-earth attitude has made such an impact on me personally. When I came across your channel, my health had declined, have several leg issues with blood flow, and it was a joy to see you at the beach and doing this daily show. I knew I was very green on crocheting, but I had crocheted many years and found it again. I enjoy listening to your thoughts, your ideas, and of course your designs. I have learned so much too. You should be very proud of yourself for digging your heels and in getting past all the troubled times as well. I was a victim of domestic abuse as well. It is so heartwarming to know that you not only understand, but want to do something about it. Thank you, Kristin, and here's to 1,000 more shows. And that's from LA. Regarding your question about what your podcast has done for me, I would say you have shown me to look for the positive in everything, always. I've always tried to, however, it is awesome to see your positivity daily with all the stresses of daily life challenges we all have. Thank you and congratulations on such a huge milestone. Thank you so much, LA. MD wrote, I am glad more people like you are talking about violence to women. It takes courage to do what you do, and I thank you on behalf of all of us who have experienced abuse in our life from one form or another. Thank you so much, MD. This is MP. I started following you, Kristin, in 2018. This was a difficult time as I had lost my son to gun violence. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. He went to a friend's house, somebody he'd known since childhood, to hang out, and that day, nothing wrong with that. He was enjoying his day off, and two people came in and robbed this house, killing both my son and his friend. Needless to say, I was devastated just thinking about it. I'm so sorry to hear about that. My son Christopher was such a kind, gentle giant as he stood 6 feet, a humble soul. He made friends and didn't know enemies, and it saddens me to know this happened to him. I was so broken in spirit, looking for something to help me through my grief. Don't get me wrong, I always rely on God's great care as I am a praying spiritual woman. But I came across one of your videos on YouTube and I always enjoyed crochet, so I started to follow you. Your podcast is truly a godsend for me. You have helped me from getting through my darkest days to being able to actually want to care again. You help me through in ways that you may not understand, one stitch at a time, and I thank you for being who you are. May God always continue to keep blessing you, Kristin, because you are blessed, and never stop what you're doing because you don't know whose life you are ministering to, one stitch at a time. MD, thank you so much. That is the gift that you all give me. When I can hear that what I am doing is making a positive impact in your life, you have no idea what a gift all of these letters are to me. This is so special. MK wrote, Dear Kristin, congratulations on the 1000th episode of your show. I came across your YouTube channel by accident this year. You are a great teacher and I have learned some good tips already. Besides the wonderful patterns, I also saw your recordings by the sea, the Zen episodes where you sat quietly on the beach. I've seen them all. I've been watching the beautiful scenery with tears in my eyes, listening to the waves. It's what I needed at the time. I have a mild form of cerebral palsy in my legs. I'm sorry to hear that. On top of that, I have some physical bad luck over the past year. Because I was injured and was at home a lot, I started crocheting again. It's fun to do and it's truly relaxing. Your motivational speeches did me good. A nice reminder that it is enough to be okay, that it can only get better. I have started crocheting again besides writing my life story. I admire your energy, your creativity, and your commitment. After reading your life story, even more so. I do understand the drive that comes with being a mother. Know that what you do with such a positive spirit is special. It motivates me to keep going. Because I can't take long walks myself, I really enjoy the beach walks. It must be wonderful with your bare feet along the Gulf of Mexico. Here in the Netherlands, it's often rainy, windy, and cold. We have a beach on the North Sea, but that's no comparison. You're taking all of us with you on your journey, and that's a great thing. I sincerely thank you for that. It feels like a friendship on the other side of the world without you even knowing me, but that's okay. I look forward to everything you do. It's nice to learn new things, to get inspired. What you share is worth more than you may realize, and I think to many of us, I wish you lots of love, happiness, and success. May all good things come to you. Love, MK. Thank you so much, MK. ME wrote, Hi Kristin, first I want to say how fun it has been to follow your show. You showing up completely wholeheartedly every day is very empowering. The strength and vulnerability you share is bravo. You are beautiful, caring, and full of unconditional love. This is the fun part. A few months ago I was looking for a wrapper shawl. I found yours, and there you were crocheting the Koa and Layla shawl on the beach. I've fallen in love with them both, and being the beach girl that I am, I was hooked. I can't wait to order the yarn and start them. I can't tell you how relaxed it makes me to wake up and join at 5:30 a.m. Say hi to everyone. It's a perfect way to help me start a mindful day. Yay, I'm so glad to hear that, especially since I can be a little anxious in the mornings, and the sunsets at 2 o'clock in the afternoon are a perfect time to take a break. Oh, as I was scrolling through your videos, I did not realize a few years ago that when I was first starting to crochet, I made the crochet on straps on the tank top in Caribbean turquoise. I live in those chamois tanks. I say, that's Kristin. It was so easy to follow you and it turned out perfect. Your creativity and time you take to share with us is beyond belief. Thank you again for your beautiful designs and tender, loving heart. Love, M.E. Thank you so much. MW wrote, I have been watching your live show for about 3 years. I would watch most while getting ready for work. You are so inspiring to me. I have learned some new stuff from you. Love your tutorials on crochet. I don't knit, but I went through cancer treatments last year and still trying to get back to crocheting. I especially like the beach shows. Sunset, most recent, of course, is the best. I miss a lot of the morning ones since I sleep late most days. I'm most proud of you for your courage to move on from your tragic domestic violence life, and very proud you share it. I love your work. Thank you for inspiring me on so many levels. Thank you so much, MW, and I hope that you are healthy very, very soon too. MF wrote, what does it mean? I think it means creativity. I think it means expanding on skills. I think it means a community of like-minded crafters. Thank you. It's been a joy and an honor. Many thanks. Thank you, MF. MM wrote, I found you when you did the 5-hour designing live shawl. That was so fun, wasn't it? I was already working from home some, but the pandemic threw that into a permanent thing that is still the case today. I started crocheting more and more and love the garments you design. I didn't think there could be so many beautiful crochet items, but you keep cranking them out, inspiring me to keep creating. I really found calm and a wonderful community in YouTube and your show right when I needed it. I have anxiety from PTSD, and a lot of services from the VA were cut back or scaled back in March 2020. So I threw myself into crochet. That is wonderful, MM. I'm so glad you're here. Another MM. This show has meant so much to me and helped me grow. It has shown me how much people actually do care about what you do. I have watched almost every episode from the beginning to podcast number 981, and I have enjoyed every one of them. I love how you explain so many different things in your podcast, and that you have a tendency to make everyone laugh even at your own expense. Definitely. That's so fun. I love that. But we are laughing with you, and I enjoy it so much. I may not catch it live, but I watch it every day. Unless I'm on vacation, and then I watch it all when I get home. So much determination and love goes in each podcast. I can just feel every bit of it. You have inspired me to start crocheting more garments for myself and my family, and your yard is so wonderful. I've tried almost every one of them, and oh, yarn, I think is what you meant. And your yarn is so wonderful. I have tried almost every one of them, and I've been so happy with everything being so soft beyond my knowledge. Even my daughter commented that I spent way too much time on yarn, but I told her I want to get your stuff because it's fantastic. I'm even going to try a knitting project one of these days. Thank you for being there for me and helping me to enjoy life a little bit more. Create, share, and inspire. You do it all. I can't even explain how my life is now compared to boring. Thank you again. Thank you, MM. MA wrote, Kristin, your eagerness to inspire has inspired me. Also, like you said, just showing up every day is to be commended. Thank you. Thank you, MA. ML wrote, Kristin, when I first found you, I had gone through a very difficult year. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a connective tissue disorder, which I was born with, and I've had a complete hip surgery and lost my 16-year-old dog, Rocky, a Papillon, and my 9-year-old weenie dog, Trip, only 7 months apart. I'm so sorry. That is a lot. I had lost my crochet mojo and was just depressed. I started watching you, and you inspired me to crochet again with a new zest. Yay! Not just for crocheting, but for life too. I had no motivation for anything, but I started wanting to get up and around, so just would not miss you on YouTube. Wonderful. Which was hard and still is since I'm a night owl. Your positivity rang through with me so much that I left my depression behind and just wanted to crochet. Wow. I started to make small goals for myself and my crocheting. I started a Facebook group for just my friends and family. I wanted to make sure that everyone I knew got something that I made. I had never made a sweater or cardigan before, and you inspired me to just go for it, and now I really can't stop. I have even made my own patterns this last year, and I've made most of my nephews a cardigan. I have 3 left to go. The more I watched and found out about you and found your website and everything, I just fell in love with you and what you are all about. I want to thank you for being here and just being you and doing what you do. I'm so glad I found you, and thank you for your inspiration. Thank you so much, ML. MO wrote, Kristin, I think you are a strong, beautiful woman with great ambition and a heart made of gold. I watch all your shows because your compassion for the arts has taught me so much. I feel your honesty, I feel your strength. You're an amazing woman, and I'm so happy for your success. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mo. N.A. wrote, I'll never forget, it was the spring of 2018. I was nearing the end of a seriously challenging school year teaching my 7th and 8th graders. As most teachers do this time of year, I started dreaming of my long-awaited summer vacation. During the school year, I started discovering crochet tutorials on YouTube. Being a longtime crocheter, I was excited about learning more techniques. One day, while browsing crochet channels, I came across yarn on the beach. I immediately said to myself, what? My 2 favorite things? Crocheting and hanging out on the beach? The minute I started watching Kristin's bright smile and fabulous enthusiasm, I was hooked. Pun intended. What a treat to start my day at the beach, watching the sunrise with my new favorite YouTube channel. Kristin, I cannot thank you enough how you've helped lift my spirit during a difficult time in my career. You helped me look forward to something new and exciting. I love how you make all of us feel welcomed like a good friend. That is what you have become to me. God bless you always, Kristin. You rock. Thank you so much, N.A. Thank you. Another N.A. I started taking knitting and crochet classes at Michael's about 8 years ago. I had 2 really great teachers with a love and passion for the crafts. My crochet teacher always mentioned I should check out your patterns because they are so unique and creative. Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad I did. Well, I still have a ton of unfinished objects. and projects lined up, I feel like the projects I've made from your patterns were easy to understand and quick to finish. You are an inspiration. Your positivity means so much and has helped me try to have a more positive attitude, especially with walks and sunset edition. The beach and Gulf background are very calming. Your backstory is one of bravery and perseverance and a message of all of us to never give up. That's right. Thank you for all the great shows, the patterns, and yarns. If I still had time to get a part 2 in here, it is because if not, I understand. I wanted to add that there are so many new techniques and ideas I've learned and continue to learn from the show. It's so great to see how a pattern can be adjusted for any size yarn and even shaped from top down, square, or in the round. The positivity of Kristin and the viewers has really meant a lot and gotten me through some tough days. Thank you. You're welcome, NA. Thank you. This is NS. Wrote 2 years ago at the age of 50, I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer. I am so sorry to hear that. As you can imagine, from that point in my life was turned upside down. Questions about how I was going to continue to work full-time and support myself as an elementary school teacher, pay mounting medical bills, and continue to care for my elderly mother with Alzheimer's swirled around in my head. But I held on to faith that God doesn't give us more than we can handle. This is so true. Fast forward several months later, and I was going through chemotherapy. As anyone who's been through chemo knows, it can be very fatiguing. Lots of couch time. So I decided this would be the time to catch up on my reading and TV shows. I began reading Jessica Simpson's newly released memoir, which led me to rewatching reruns of her reality show from years back. In the show, she wears this gorgeous and unusual looking shawl. I remember that. Did a little research and discovered it was a designer crochet shawl. It's made out of the Delta stitch. We can talk about that on another episode. Way out of my price range. Yeah, they were like $500. Then I began thinking to myself, I can learn to crochet and make it myself. Well, I came to find out the Delta flower stitch is not exactly the best stitch to start if you're an absolute beginner, but I didn't give up, and in all of my YouTube searches I found only one tutorial that I could actually follow and make sense to me, and that's how I discovered the Kristin Omdahl channel. I made my first shawl, the Tender Celeste, and couldn't believe I could actually make something that I'm proud to wear and get compliments on. From there I discovered the daily podcast, which became a source of inspiration and comfort during a challenging time. 3 months after I completed my cancer treatment, my mother passed away. I'm very sorry to hear that. This has been by far the most difficult time in my life. She was everything to me. I put down my crochet hook for a time, but picked it up again, and I continued on with life. I'm now in remission and 2 years cancer-free. Congratulations. As Kristin says, we are more alike than we are different. We all have our own struggles in life. I appreciate Kristin's honesty in sharing hers, so we realize we're not alone. I appreciate this community that encourages and supports one another. Here's to 1,000 more episodes of creating, sharing, and inspiring one another. Absolutely. Thank you so much, NA. PB wrote, I found your podcast in 2018. I have not only met friends for life, but also learned to crochet to a new level. I learned initially to crochet in 2007 while living in Sarasota, Florida. It was my third try over several years, and it finally clicked. Your podcasts and videos have taught me so much, with especially reading charts. I also appreciate all the great patterns and books. The most special part, my friends who have checked on me throughout several crises, including my husband's emergency open heart surgery and my own struggles, the positive experience here have kept me going. Thank you, Kristin and Judy. Thank you for sharing, PB. It's wonderful. PG wrote, I have been watching off and on for over 5 years, and I'm always amazed by your creativity. Kristin, you have the talent to incorporate others in your creative process. You ask for ideas and feedback. I have always been impressed by your story since it touches me on a personal note. You survived. My sister did not. I always try to volunteer in some way with charities that deal with domestic violence. When I lived in another state, I was a volunteer on the hotline. We placed people in temporary housing until they could find some place more permanent. My son has grown, but I am now a single parent. It is wonderful to see how your son has grown. You inspire me to get up every day, put makeup on, and look my best. Plus all that wonderful yarn and patterns. All the best. Thank you, PG. Thank you. RL wrote, it has been an up and down life. I'm 90 years old, and I think that kind of life makes me so strong today. Meeting you, Kristin, has also helped me. I have been crocheting and knitting since I was 13 years old. Your spirit is awesome. So is yours. Thank you, RL. R.A. wrote, it's been a pleasure watching your videos. They have been encouraging, and the special nugget that I get from your videos is to keep going, and I don't allow what life throws out to steal my dreams. Wonderful. I'm so glad that that's what you get from me, R.A. That is amazing. S.A. wrote, what the Kristin Omdahl show has meant to me is everything good in learning how to knit, crochet, relax, share with others our creations, learning new ways of being positive in mind, body, health, and spirit by sharing experiences in Kristin's beautiful yarns, creations, talent she brings to us, and she explains so well everything she does and shares with us on her live episodes. She is so warm, loving, and a real heart, so full of knowledge when it comes to everything she talks about and makes. Her yarns are beautifully dyed and nice to work with. Her patterns are amazing. She has authored many books and been on many television broadcasts. Her recipes are healthy, and her zest for life and living and sharing with us are so real and down to earth. She is a wonderful, genuine friend, making all of us feel happy to be one of her viewers and like we are a part of her family because she is so loving and kind, yet always wanting to share more and more of her life and talents with us. I have learned so much from her, and I'm thankful for this amazing woman with so many talents. She is a strong single woman and mother who overcame domestic violence and constantly gives to the cause she has created to help others of domestic violence. God has blessed this woman with a solid strength and love for everyone, and she is always doing good in her life and her best to raise her son Marlon, who is such a nice young man who has a great respect and love for his mother. Thank you, Kristin, for everything you have taught us and shared with us on your live broadcasts and tutorials. Thank you for sharing all you know for the love of creating with yarn and your many other talents shared. May God keep blessing you, your life with all good and perfect health, talents, strengths, love, and prosperity in this lifetime. I appreciate you, and I'm thankful I found you on the internet. You're a true definition of a woman who has got the will to survive and keep sharing your gifts and talents that God has given you. I admire you and you inspire me. I thank you and I love you. S.A. from California. Thank you so much, S.A. S.W. wrote, I was first introduced to you by watching the Knit and Crochet Now TV show, taking in how demonstrate and make it so easy to create a project. Shortly thereafter, I got into YouTube and soon noticed that you were the same person from the TV show. As from watching your videos, I was so impressed by how you had shared your story and written the book, Be So Caring, with proceeds going to help the victims of domestic violence. I purchased that book and crocheted the Mary Jane shawl in cherry red. I got attention and so many compliments when I wore it because it is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous shawl. We should do a shawl styling demo with that. I would describe your show to others as well-rounded and versatile since you knit and crochet. You offer cool recipe ideas, clothing, and beauty tips as well. Congratulations, Kristin. You have a lot to be proud of. Thank you, SW. SD wrote, hi, I am 64 years young and started crocheting 2 years ago. I quickly became a yarn snob and love good quality yarns. I don't remember how I got to Kristin's podcast, but I'm so thankful I found her. I am addicted to all her yarns, and I have made quite a few things from her patterns and in her books, 52 crochet gifts and 80 handmade gifts. I'm having problems following patterns and reading charts, but every day I learn something new and get more experience. But I am grateful I have found crocheting as my hobby, as I so enjoy it. It's my meditation for the mind. Thank you, Kristin, for all you share, your wisdom, strength, and kindness. You are immensely talented and such an inspiration. So happy to know you. Thank you so much, SD. Okay, so for those of you that might be wondering how long this is going to go, there were 25 pages. I did the initials alphabetically, and we're down to the last 4 pages. So what have we gone? We're over an hour and a half so far. We're probably going to wrap it up here soon. So any of you that are trying to pace yourselves or figuring out if you can stay or not, I know this is a long episode, but I promised that I would read, if anybody that felt inspired to share with me, I promised I was going to read each one. And so I've been committed to doing this, whether it was going to be 30 minutes or 5 hours. And it looks like we're going to end up being just under 2 hours. So just for anybody who might be getting impatient, I just wanted to let you know that's where we are pace-wise. And I hope from the bottom of my incredible for me. Okay, so here we go. SK wrote, thank you for taking us with you on your outings to the beaches and parks. It brings me such joy to be able to enjoy the walks down the beach with you. It also brings nice memories of a time I lived for 26 years near the Gulf of Mexico and miss it so much. Again, thank you. Thank you so much, SK. And I'm more than happy to share everything that I love with all of you. SM wrote, how time has flown, Kristin. I was introduced to you by my sister, KR, in Yarn on the Beach in the early, maybe 120 episodes. I didn't even know about YouTube podcast channels and the like. I went back and watched all the early episodes and have made you a daily visit most days. You are the only person doing live videos on the subject of yarn. Yarn! I have a large collection of not only your brand, but lots of rustic wool and everything in between. I love it all. What I appreciate about your podcast is that they are only 30 minutes long or so. Let's face it, we're all busy people. Very true. I lost my place. I don't always see you live because it's 6 a.m. in California, but I watch each episode, and when my sister and I talk on the phone, I always ask, did you see Kristin today? That's nice that you guys can bond over that. That is very nice. She's still working, but being retired, I'm able to tune and enjoy a little yarny goodness each day. I also appreciate your including all weights of yarn in both knitting and also crochet. There's a lot of benefits to talking about all the different weights, for sure. Kristin, it's been fun, and I have very much gone down the yarny rabbit hole, and it all started with you. I've used so many lovely podcasters, and I see all of yours and their beautiful projects. I have been inspired to knit and crochet more things in the past couple of years than ever before. Only now, I have to stop purchasing the beautiful yarns and use up my lovely stash. Your lovely patterns will help me in that department. Thanks again, Kristin, for all your hard work in making the quality videos and tutorials and teaching all of us to better our skills and to continue making beautiful things. Sincerely, SM in California. Thank you, SM. SC wrote, what this Yarn on the Beach, Create, Share, Inspire, and now the Kristin Omdahl Show means to me. When I first discovered you and when you started your first Yarn on the Beach podcast, my life and the world was normal. Little did I know what was ahead. This group has carried me through my husband's battle with his cancer, then loss of him, and now in my life. I'm very sorry to hear that, SC. There has been many people in this group who have touched my life beyond measure. Gee, you offered to come to the hospital and bring me anything I needed. I was amazed that you would do that, even though we had not met in person. That will remain in my heart forever. L, I appreciate the hellos on the podcast, even if I haven't said hi. You always know that I'm there. I value our continued friendship. So many of us just holding a special bond because of this podcast. I was also connected to a couple of other people through a pattern we were all working on together without any of us knowing, the birch lace vest, which I have made at least 5 of them. JM and JH. Jay and I bonded with life events, and she would always call me Sunshine and still does to this day. It always brings a smile to my face. JH has been my rock through all the ups and downs with my husband, cancer battle, and then when he passed. Jay was there for support. She would listen to me cry and guide me through. Even though we may have never met, but I hope we will, we have the strongest bond, and for all of that, I will be grateful for all of this. Thank you, Kristin. I'm sorry for your loss, SC, and I'm so glad that you have made friends through the show. That's one of the reasons why I have the forum now as well, and all the different attributes of the forum, because I really love hearing how the show has brought like-minded and wonderful people together to create really wonderful friendships. Okay, SD wrote, happy 1000th episode, Kristin. Before I share my story, I'd love to take a moment to sincerely thank you for sharing so much of yourself and your talents with all of us. I'm certain that this won't be the first time you hear this, but your kind, approachable realness is what endears you to so many. Your generosity of spirit is tangible and truly touches us all. I am so very happy to be part of the KO community. My story, I learned to crochet from my roommate some 30 years ago. I'll date myself here, but after working all week, we enjoyed winding down on Friday evenings by renting old 30s, 40s, and 50s musicals from Blockbuster and catching up. She would often use this time to crochet the most beautiful blankets and baby items, and it intrigued me but seemed far too difficult for me to learn. As I would come to learn later, most avid crafters enjoy teaching each others, and she patiently taught me the basic stitches that became the foundation for many afghans, blankets of my very own. I didn't know that you could crochet anything else. That all changed in 2016. My friend, who had been diagnosed a few years earlier with a particularly tough form of cancer, had taken up crocheting and knitting as a form of relaxation and calming. She began to ask me questions, and while I hadn't crocheted much in recent years, her queries and the emergence of YouTube reawakened my interest in crochet. I visited a real yarn shop for the first time that year, my first sheep wool festival, and was amazed at all the beautiful things that could be made with crochet. All of the varieties of beautiful yarns. I purchased my first pattern book wrapped in crochet, my first published book, and varieties of beautiful yarns. I purchased my first pattern book and promptly tried to give it to my friend because the pattern seemed so hard to me. Instead of taking the book, she challenged me to learn to make one piece from it. She said that if I still wanted to give her the book at that point, she would take it. I picked the pattern that I felt was easiest to me, the diamond shawl. I learned how to read charts using that pattern. 3 weeks later, it was finished, and I was so proud of myself. I'm proud of you too. My sweet friend never did get that book, and the rest is history. Kristin, in the most literal sense, you are directly tied to my love of creating beautiful things with crochet and knitting, which I picked up a few years ago. I was thrilled to find your podcast and get to connect with you in such a wonderful way. You are a treasure, truly, and here's to the next 1,000 episodes. Yes! All the best to you, friend, SD. Thank you so much, SD. I'm proud of you, too. TL wrote, I was 55 when I taught myself to crochet, and now I'm 62. I taught myself from YouTube videos, but I learned so much more by watching your videos. You covered so much more content in your videos that appealed to me. Not only did you teach me how to read patterns and charts, you've influenced my style of clothes and given me so much confidence in myself. Yay! You have become a familiar name in my home. I have also learned the difference between the good yarns and others. Yours are the best. I admire you and your enthusiasm and zest for life and learning. You should be so proud of yourself for creating, sharing, and inspiring so many people with your many talents. Here's to 1,000 more episodes of the Kristin Omdahl Show. Thank you so much, TL. TS wrote, I started watching Kristin before she started doing what was then called Yarn on the Beach. That was the first of the 3 names of the show. I stumbled upon one of her tutorials for a scarf and was so thrilled that it was constructed in such a way that both ends matched. Yes, foundation ovals. I have only seen scarves where one end was just a row of chains and the other end had a design. I think this is genius and I've learned so much. I'm so glad. So I kept watching her tutorials, always learning something new. When she started Yarn on the Beach, she was doing these live shows 6 days a week. That is true. It was 6 days a week for the first 2 years. I was very impressed. One of the main reasons is the connection to my family. My sister had been living in Naples for many years with her family, and my parents retired there. It was great to see Kristin at all the beaches I go to when down there. Her tenacity to keep doing the show for all this time is so impressive. Yet we all play a part in her success, but she's the one who gets up and goes to the beach or at her home if necessary and plans out these live chats with so many interesting topics. I get to stay home and watch on my tablet. I've really enjoyed her show from the very beginning. I've learned so much. I have to be totally honest here and say that since I've lost both my parents in the last 2.5 years, I'm very sorry for your loss. Seeing the beach is bittersweet and many times the tears do roll. But I push forward and I watch it to the end. They loved the beach. So thank you, Kristin, for the connection to my family and for your perseverance in bringing your show to us along with your bountiful knowledge of so many subjects. Sharing your personal stories and struggles is very brave and such a blessing for so many. Wishing you continued success in your business and life with Marlon, who is a blessing. Tell him I'm still waiting for his awesome shrimp scampi. I will. Your friend, TL. Or TS, sorry. Thank you so much, TS. TF wrote, I've only been crocheting for about a year now, so I was looking for something more challenging and delicate. To my delight and joy, that is where I found your YouTube site, Kristin. Thank you. You are very talented and very patient. I really appreciate your time and effort to share and teach many. Tina. T8. I did not mean to say that out loud. I'm sorry. That was TF. Thank you, TF. T8, I guess I'm getting tired. I'm sorry. TH wrote, I was color challenged before seeing your videos. I really appreciate all the hard work you put in for our benefit. Thank you so much for all you do. I continue to learn so much from you. Last week, okay. Take care. Thank you so much, TH. VS wrote, hi, Kristin. I, like you, was abused sexually by my dad and my older brother when I was 7 years old, and it went on till I was 15. I told my mother, but nothing ever happened. She had 13 children. I'm going to pass. You can read all of the details of the story. I don't want to trigger or upset anybody sharing the details of it, but you can read the whole thing on the blog post. And it went on till she got married at 23. I was on Facebook one night and I saw someone was selling unique products. He was doing his podcast and I was watching him. One night by accident, I sent a picture of my knitting and he sent me your link. I started to follow you because there were 3 people in the house, but I was by myself. I had someone to talk to. My husband passed May 28th this year. I'm so sorry to hear that. My son is at work during the day and he goes out at night. There were other issues during my marriage, but that story is too long. I was married just about 48 years this year. I love your freshness and honesty. You have come a long way, but you made it, and I'll watch you as long as you are on. You're doing great. Thank you, VS. Thank you. WW wrote, what has thrilled me about your patterns and yarns is that there's the perfect balance of consistency and variety. That's cool. No matter what pattern I make, crochet or knit, I can easily tune into your way of teaching and how the patterns unfold. There is so much variety that I will never run out of creations to make. Each one is a whole new adventure, even when I make the same pattern several times in different colors. That is also true. Your yarns and colors are perfect. My all-time favorite yarn is Be So Baby. The videos are so down-to-earth, gorgeous, and enjoyable, like talking with a good friend, and show us the yarn and patterns in detail. Your whole operation is a continuing, evolving, huge adventure. Thank you so much. Thank you, WW. WM wrote, hi, Kristin. First, I must start with a heartfelt congratulations. I sometimes find it hard to make my bed 3 days in a row, let alone commit to opening my home and life for so many consecutive days, weeks, and now years. Your ever excitement in seeing a dolphin, a kind act, sharing a sunset, or finding a bird wanting to say hello is nothing short of endearing. Your bravery in opening up and sharing yourself, for better or for worse, is also an inspiration. The confidence you exude in wearing, modeling, and styling your own handmade pieces is a personal boost for myself. It may seem like just a podcast to you, but it has become so much more than that. While your gorgeous yarns, patterns, and patience teaching tools are enough to make anyone want to come back for more, it's your beautiful spirit and positivity that really resonate with me. In what can be an otherwise cruel and dark world, YouTube especially, for at least 30 minutes a day, your podcast guarantees at least one smile and a laugh or two, especially when those pesky bobby pins fall out of nowhere and acting like a bug. Being a master in your craft and having the willingness to share with others is one of the most generous gifts you can give. So for that and for so much more, a huge thank you. In closing, while I'll never personally respond in the live chat, maybe one day, I am there almost every day and would be remiss without mentioning the wonderful people and moderators that come and hang out with you and share their stories as well. The community you bring together is nothing short of a compliment to you and them. Finally, a special shout out to Judy. Your wonderful customer service skills, quick click links in the live chat, and helpful nature are second to none. I second that. 1,000 episodes down. Now to begin the countdown to 10,000. Thank you, WM. And that concludes our 25 pages of stories. Wow. Again, congratulations to all of us. Thank you all so much for being here with me every day. Like I said, it took me a year to even push start for the first episode. I was so afraid no one would show up and no one would care. Then when I did start going live, you did show up and you did care. And if you didn't, it would have never existed. I would have given up after 10 episodes probably. We're here after 1,000 episodes because of all of you. You give me the reason to come and share my passion for all this. I could share my passion with anybody. I can share it with you because you come to me. And so thank you so much. So big congratulations to all of us. And in order to celebrate, like I said in the beginning of the show, what I'd like you to do is leave a comment on the blog post today where I share. You can go back and read. You can go back and read all of these comments. You can go back and read where Judy and I put together a highlight reel of all of the links to all of the highlight episodes that we thought might be fun to go back and rewatch. And if you go to that blog post and leave a comment, you will be entered to win yarn. I have 2 commemorative colors that came out today. Sage of Enlightenment and Rise with the Sun colorways in Be So Luxe yarn. I have commemorative mugs for the Kristin Omdahl show. And I'll be giving away autographed cotton tote bags with inspirational quotes on them. So many projects, so little time, all with my hand-drawn artwork on them. Embrace the magic in you. A handmade gift is the gift that keeps on giving. The future of handmade is in our hands. And create like no one is watching. All of these have my own artwork on them and the quotes. All of these products are available for sale. So I will be, and there's a coupon code on that blog post that if you use it, everybody's a winner. Everybody wins a free pattern today. And I will be randomly picking comments from the comments on that blog post to give away all of these prizes. I've got tons to give away and I want to celebrate and share with all of you. And again, we're all winners. We're all winners. You can use the coupon code to get a free pattern. There's a new pattern that came out today as well. What else? And like we heard in so many of the comments today, we are more alike than we are different. Through kindness and intention, we touch more lives than we'll ever know. And I couldn't have done any of this without all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all of you so much. And yes, here's to the next 1,000. Here's to the next 10,000 episodes. I can't wait to see where we go from here. I can't wait. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Congratulations to all of us on 1,000 episodes. And I will see you tomorrow for the next episode of the Kristin Omdahl Show. Bye.